Hey guys, and welcome on into the next off-season preview show. Today I'm gonna be talking all about the Calgary Flames, taking a look at their off-season ahead, draft picks and management, free agents, forwards, defensemen, and goaltending, as well as my off-season tasks to finish off the show. Make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and leave in the comment section what you think the Calgary Flames need to do this off-season to get back to the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Flames didn't have an awful season last year. They were the bubble team. Tied with St. Louis in points. And the Flames won their final 4 games. And they definitely had an opportunity to make the playoffs. It was late Minnesota Wild goal by Joel Eriksson to tie the game against Anaheim that ultimately sealed the fate for the Flames, because had Joel Eriksson not tied the game and had the Wild lost that game in regulation to Anaheim, and the Flames had won their 4 games that they did, the Flames would have made the playoffs and the Wild would have missed the playoffs. So I believe there was 17 seconds left, and Eriksson tied that game, which ultimately sent the Wild to the playoffs and ultimately had the Calgary Flames as the bubble team. So Flames not far off at all. They're going to want to get into the playoffs this year, and we will begin to take a look at their offseason ahead. Starting with draft picks and management, as you can see, the Flames do not have their first-round pick. They traded it away. They don't have their second-round pick either. They have their 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th-round pick. A lot of teams seem to not really like 4th-round picks. Everyone seems to trade their 4th-round picks away, which is kind of funny. But the Flames do have 2 first-round picks, however, from New Jersey and Florida, as well as a second-round pick from the Colorado Avalanche. So some picks here for the draft for Craig Conroy to use, or some picks to use as trade pieces is definitely possible as well. So Craig Conroy, Ryan Huska, general manager, head coach, no changes there in the offseason. The Flames will be looking to have a good offseason and get back to the playoffs. Taking a look at free agents for this Calgary team, and they have quite a few of them. When you look at it, approximately $28 million, $145,000 in cap space for the Flames this offseason, and 4 RFAs to deal with: Morgan Frost, Connor Zary, Adam Klapka, and Kevin Ball. I think the most 2 important names here are Connor Zary and Kevin Ball. Morgan Frost would be number 3, and then Adam Klapka would be number 4. As well, you've got all these UFAs. Daniel Vladar could be an interesting player to look at re-signing in free agency, because I do believe the Flames should be looking at a goaltender, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. The other UFAs, I could see them re-signing them. I could see them letting them go. The Flames have a lot of cap space at $28 million. Frost, Zary, and Kevin Ball are not going to cost $28 million. So the Flames are going to have cap space to work with, and they also have full offer sheet capability. So if this Flames team wants to go after a RFA, they have the full ability to do that. And when you look at this Flames team, the way their trajectory is heading, probably not going to find them at the bottom of the league anytime soon. So it might be a smart idea to potentially look at an RFA and risk those draft picks, because the Flames, a young team that's progressing, those draft picks might not necessarily mean too much in the next few years. So the Flames are a team where I could see an offer sheet being handed out to restricted free agent on another team. Taking a look at the Flames forward lineup as depth charts project them to be: Jonathan Huberdeau, Nazem Kadri, and Connor Zary on the top line. Blake Coleman, Mikhail Backlund, and Matthew Coronado on the second line. Igor Sharangovich, Morgan Frost, and Joel Farabee on that third line. Looking at that top nine, that's a pretty decent top nine overall. I do think Blake Coleman, Mikhail Backlund, more of third line guys at this point in their career on a Stanley Cup contender. Those guys would definitely be third line guys. Igor Sharangovich, Morgan Frost, two players the Flames will need to produce. Joel Farabee will have to improve on his season last year. The Flames will need improvement from him. Coronado and Connor Zary both had good seasons, both young players for the future for this Flames team. Fourth line, Adder Sunes, Marta Pospisil, and Adam Klapka. Sorry if I'm butchering these names. Pospisil had some really good moments last year. Definitely cashed some big plus money goal props during this season for him. So the Flames do have young players. And as I say on a lot of shows when I'm talking about all these young players, when will they take that next step forward? Pospisil, 4 goals, 21 assists, 25 points, and 81 games played. Connor Zary had 2 more points. He only played in 54 games, so there was a big difference there, and that's why Pospisil is on the fourth line. But he's a good fourth line player overall. Ryan Lomberg, another good physical guy on that fourth line if you need him. Overall, I like this Flames forward group. I think you could potentially look to add a second line, a left winger. I don't know if they really need centers on this team. I think if you can find yourself a second line center and a second line left wing, I would potentially look to add those guys. Then you move Coleman and Backlund down a line, and you have a strong second line with Coronado, 2 other players. Then you've got Backlund, Coleman on that third line, maybe Sharangovich, and then obviously Frost would move down to the fourth line, but that would give you a lot of depth offensively in this forward group. So I think 1 to 2 free agent forwards. I would look at top 6 guys, maybe top 9 guys if you can find some guys that can move from second to third line, you could do that as well. But free agent left wingers, I think the Flames should be going after a guy like Jonathan Drouin, who will likely be a free agent with Colorado, using up their cap space on Brock Nelson. I would assume that Jonathan Drouin will find a different team, and I think the Flames would be smart to go after him. 11 goals, 26 assists, 37 points, only 43 games played. So he obviously had injuries, but 37 points, 43 games played, close to a point per game player when he's healthy. If you add Jonathan Drouin into that top 6, that immediately makes this offense quite a bit better for the Flames. Looking at the center group, Sam Bennett returning to Calgary? No, I don't see it. But there are other centers available here. Mikael Granlund would be a really interesting choice. Pia Suter as well. Claude Giroux would be a good addition. And some of these guys can play wing as well as center, like Claude Giroux. So some options for Calgary. I could see them going after a player like Ryan Donato as well. But the Flames could look for some free agents here on the UFA market. When it comes to right wingers, I don't really see any of these guys joining Calgary. Maybe Dadonov or Riley Smith, potentially. Everyone and their mother wants Mitch Marner. I understand that, and Mitch Marner would be obviously an excellent addition on this Calgary team. I just don't know if they really go for Mitch Marner at this point, but I could be surprised. Taking a look at restricted free agents, As I've kind of discussed, when it comes to the forward group, I think the Flames would be looking for a left winger / center. A guy like Peterka or a guy like Dmitry Voronkov, Matthew Nyes. Toronto probably isn't going to let him go, though. But most of these RFAs, I think, would likely be signed by their teams. Will Cooley is a very interesting choice in New York with the Rangers, as I talked on. I did the Rangers show, the most previous show before this, and they have a lot of cap issues. So a guy like Will Cooley could receive an offer sheet, and the Rangers might be in a difficult situation with re-signing him. So Calgary could be smart to go after a guy like Will Cooley, young guy, left winger, fits on that second line, could play third line too if needed, but he is more of a second liner in my opinion. Would give the Flames the needed depth. So maybe an offer sheet for Will Cooley would be very interesting, in my opinion, for the Calgary Flames. Of course, burning bridges with the Rangers, but Flames burn, it all works together. The Flames burn thing, so it's totally fine. Kevin Ball and Rasmus Anderson, the top D pair. Mackenzie Weegar, Zane Parikh, the second pair. Jake Bean, Braden Paschal, the third line pair, and Danil Miramonov as a depth guy. Some obviously young guys here on this Flames defense. Then you do have veterans like Weegar and Anderson, but a lot of youth on this Flames defense. And if I'm looking at this Flames team, looking at where they finished last year, if they really want to make the playoffs this year and have a good shot at winning a round, I've already said I think they could use a center or a left wing, a top 6, top 9 forward. I think they could use some help on defense and maybe another veteran defenseman to kind of help these young defensemen around, also to have depth, because injuries definitely happen. If you lose a guy like Rasmus Anderson, that's a huge, or Mackenzie Weegar, that's a lot of minutes missing out of this Flames defense, and guys get hurt. So I would look to go and add a defenseman as well for this Flames defense, a guy with some experience. Matt Grzelcyk would be very interesting. Aaron Ekblad would be a huge addition to that offense. You're talking about veteran presence. Ekblad would fit that. Dante Fabro, Ryan Lindgren, I talk about on most shows, 2 defensive defensemen, block shots, physical. Those are guys you would want. Tony DeAngelo would be kind of interesting here as well. More of kind of on the offensive side, of course, but experience for the different teams he's played for. So he would be an interesting addition, but I think the Flames should look to go and add a defenseman as well. And lastly, before we head to offseason tasks, we talk about the goaltending. Dustin Wolf, starting goaltender for the Flames, fantastic goalie, high potential. We saw it last year. He played very well for the Flames. Let me get it up here. 29, 16, and 8 with a 2.64 goals against average and a 910 save percentage. Fantastic. Dustin Wolf, smaller goalie, but a very, very good goalie, and he's going to be that way for a long time in this league. I'm very, very high on Dustin Wolf. Devin Cooley as the backup here. Not a whole lot of experience overall. And this Flames team, as I said, forward, defenseman, think they could use a backup goalie as well. Devin Cooley could come out and he could play well. He could be a serviceable backup for the Flames. But if you're kind of a rebuilding team, then I could see going with these 2 goalies. But if you're in the position the Flames are and you want to make a playoff run, if you want to make the playoffs next year, I do think you need to have a backup that you have some more confidence in, obviously more NHL experience. Taking a look at UFA goalies, and there's a ton of them with experience. So there's a lot of choices for Calgary, obviously, to look at. I think a guy like Jake Allen could be interesting. Vitek Vanacek, Anton Forsberg. I think Alex Lyon would do well in Calgary. You could go back to Daniel Vladar. Maybe go with Old Man Reimer, who was the best goalie on the Buffalo Sabres last year. Kaapo Kähkönen, I don't know if he's obviously had some struggles in recent years, as has other guys like Ville Husso as well. You could go maybe with Samsonov as well. There's options for Calgary. When it comes to RFAs, you got Dustin Wolf, who's your goaltender of the future. You don't have to go and add an RFA goaltender. That kind of defeats the purpose. If you're going to add a goaltender, like I think the Flames should, it should be for a veteran with experience that can be a capable backup to Dustin Wolf when he gets the night off for the Flames. So, to recap, re-sign RFAs. You got 4 RFAs, re-sign them, get those deals done. Add a top 9 forward, probably more of a top 6 forward, but that will obviously depend on how much money you've got left when looking to re-sign RFAs. Add a defenseman, veteran defenseman that can help those young defensemen. Depth. You need some depth defenseman here for the Flames. And then I would add a backup goaltender as well. So I know the Flames missed the playoffs by not even a point. They missed it by a tiebreaker. So very, very close to making the playoffs. But I still think you need a piece on each component here. 4 defensemen, goaltending. I think you add each one of those, and I think the Flames can get back to the playoffs next year. Now, there are teams behind the Flames, like Utah, the Utah Mammoth. Anaheim Ducks were 16 points behind, but I expect the Ducks to make an improvement this year. Seattle should be better. Nashville was kind of a huge surprise why they were so awful. Vancouver has huge question marks, so I'm not going to include them there, but then they could have a bounce back year as well. So there are a lot of teams here behind the Flames that could potentially catch them, and that's why I think it's imperative that they re-sign the RFAs, but also add depth throughout this lineup so that you're able to compete for a playoff, most likely a wild card spot, but maybe third in the Pacific could be possible as well. And that is the Calgary Flames off-season preview. Make sure to go and hit the like button if you guys like this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with my thoughts here on this Flames team? What do you think the Flames need to add in the off-season? And we will see you guys on the next off-season show. Thanks for watching.